So, everyone together. This is the fire together. Round 2, 3, and.
This is the fire to gather round, standing together on common ground, sharing the beacon we light our lands, joining our hearts, we join our hands. Fire, 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 oh fire, fire, joining our hearts, join our hands, sharing the beacon of love, sharing the beacon of love.
Right.
No,
send you Gary's radio station.
When you look into the mirror, do you love who you see? When you look into the mirror, do you love who you see? Do you love what you stand for? Do you love what you stand for? Do you have integrity? Do you have integrity? Na na ooh, na na ooh, na na ooh, na na ooh. Do you feel supported by life? Do you feel supported by life? Do you know the wisdom inside? Do you know the wisdom inside? Do you have great friends around you? Do you have great friends around you? Do you know the voice that's true? Do you know the voice that's true? Na na ooh. Na na ooh, na na ooh, na na ooh.
Set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Join together and be with the flow.
Good morning, everyone. Little 7-minute collage of images and music from a very memorable event. Good to see so many on the call. How is everyone?
Wow.
There's still
we've ever
got
had,
a few
I think.
people joining in one by one. So yeah, that's, if we could just give it a couple of minutes. In fact, I'm going to invite a very quick check-in for everyone. Can you keep it really, 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 really brief, please? How are you feeling at this moment? And then we'll go into further feedback on Campout and more of a chance to say, to speak more about your reflections. So the way we usually do it here on the regular Sunday Zooms is to pass the talking stick. Each person nominates somebody else to follow them. So yeah, who would like to go first? Please raise a digital hand. Quite difficult to see real hands with so many on the screen. Sirius, off you go. Good to see you,
Morning.
sir.
Good morning, Pete. You right? Got home right yesterday, did you?
Got home okay. Yeah, back to the farm. Okay, thanks. Good to see you at the service.
Well, I'm feeling. The best word to describe it is nice.
That's brief. Yeah. Do you want to pass on to somebody else?
Poppy. Let's go with Poppy.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I sitting in the garden and it's quite a nice day. It's going to be really nice, so I'm good. And I'll pass to Zelda.
Thanks, Poppy. I'm missing the singing and dancing. It's great. It's great to see everybody here. And I'll pass to Yael.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Actually, it's my first time on a Sunday morning. I'm feeling actually still recovering from Campout. Tired, but yeah, soft and good. So I will pass to Ambika.
Oh, hi everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm feeling very well, and I'm feeling so grateful to, to have spent some amazing time with all of you. Really grateful. Yeah, I'm still there with my heart. Thank you. I pass to Francesca.
Morning all. I'm feeling a bit sleepy, calm and curious. And I'll pass to Ken.
All right. Greetings to everyone from Silver Spring, Maryland. I know there's a lot here that I've never seen before. I've known Pete from over 40 years from the music community. I'm a music journalist. I hope someday I can get to camp out in person. Pete and I are talking a little bit about collaborating on something. It's and I hope that next year's Campout is not on the same weekend as Fairport Conventions Festival, because I would want to go to both if I can manage to get there.
Ken,
So,
can you, sorry, this is just a very quick check-in. How are you
I know I was
feeling?
going to stop there. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Weird as usual. The personal stuff is still weird. No fault of anybody in this meeting though, and I'm pretty amazed at all the people that are here. Pete, since you're one of the few that I know, since we've got so many new ones, you go next.
Okay, I'm feeling, yeah, a mixture of exhilaration and exhaustion, I think, and I'm happy to be sitting out the farm in the sun. It's almost warm. I've got a bit of a jumper on.
Yeah.
I would like to nominate Ruth Fox.
Hi, I'm still a little tired and I'm grounded because I hurt my foot yesterday. So I'm having time. And I nominate Tamara.
Hi, good morning. Am I mute now? Okay. Fantastic. I'm on a roll, and yeah, it continued to go up and up right now, and then the troughs and it goes up again. So yeah, brilliant. I'll pass to, oh, who's not being, Janine?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my God, thank goodness. I'm good. I've just got out of a very hot bath, so I'm feeling exhilarated. I'll pass it on to, I don't know who's been, Clifford?
Thank you. I'm very glad it's Sunday. I came back into a hectic week and I'm exhausted. And today I've got very little to do, which is very nice. Francis, have you been?
No, I haven't been yet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I'm feeling oh gosh, how am I feeling? I don't know. It's been an amazing week. I've had a bit of a realignment. I had a fall and feel that things are all sort of shifting back into me walking my path. And I did some updates on the scroll for peace and included connection and the pineal gland with more reference onto that. And so, yeah, no, it's wonderful. Thank you. God bless.
Would you like to nominate who hasn't been? Graham, Brian, Sidsara, Kaya?
Graham.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am feeling sad, but grateful. And on to Brian.
Ryan, I'm going to have to mute you. You're coming across like Mickey Mouse. There's something wrong with your audio. Quite amusing, but can't really hear what you're saying. So I'm going to step in and nominate Kaya.
That was funny. Hello. Yeah, it was my first time at Campout. I loved it. And I'm feeling good today. Thank you.
Would you like to invite Julia, PP, Vanderwoman?
Oh, yeah. Vanderwoman. There we go.
You're still muted, Lisa.
Okay, thanks. Hi, good morning. Feeling good. Happy to have experienced everything in such an amazing way. Still processing it all. Also, yeah, just slowly landing, and but feeling good and grateful for having had this experience at camp. And I will pass on to. Sorry, I'm not used to the Zoom thing, so I just lost the screen. Will you name somebody who I can choose?
We've got Sam, Sid, Sarah, Julia.
Julia.
Hi, or Julie La. Hello, everyone. I've just managed. I was struggling with technology just then to get here. So how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling rather good. I actually had a session with Jael yesterday in where she lives in Nailsworth, and whoa, yeah, I particularly went to complete Campout. So I'm processing, I'm in the last dribbles of completion.
Thank you.
And I can't see anyone on my little phone. So who hasn't had a go?
Shall I nominate someone for you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Sam Tinton.
Hi everyone, so lovely to be here. How am I feeling today? I'm still feeling enormous gratitude, Pete, for you and the work you're doing and connecting people. This is a beautiful community that you're creating here, and I feel very emotional. Still very much integrating from there you go. But yeah, I feel so blessed to have met so many beautiful souls last weekend. So that's where I'm at right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else hasn't gone? Sid, Sarah, Lynette. Would you like to nominate? Or Elle? One of those three, I think. Is there anyone else? Stick a hand up if you haven't been. I think it's just those three.
Sorry, I forgot to nominate. Let me nominate Elle.
Hiya. I am, quite mind blown that it was only a week ago that we were all together, because I've done so much since then. And yet today I have a chill day, although I've been to the gym, which I suppose is kind of downtime for me. And so I'm feeling quite refreshed today and happy to be with everyone again. Oh, and I need to nominate, is it Lynette?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elle.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to be here. I didn't make Campout this year through lots of different things. It didn't line up, including my energy. But I was there last year, so I thought this is the next best thing to come on the post Campout Zoom to soak in a bit of that energy and nourish my soul. So good to be here, and I nominate Sid Sarah. Hello.
Not sure how present Sid Sarah is. There's a nice view there, but can't see her. Brian, would you like to try your audio again and see if you've come out of Mickey Mouse territory?
Hello, is that any better?
Yeah.
Is that any better? Can you
Yes.
hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Just feeling a wee bit overwhelmed. Just of like over bombarded, if that's a word, with festivals of just sort of like tinge of a wee bit of sadness that it's just going to have to come to an end, and just got to get on with the responsibilities of just having to do the big relocation back to Northern Ireland. So it's we shall overcome. Exactly how I don't know, but we shall overcome. Has anybody else not been? Has everybody been?
I think that's everyone. Sid Sarah hasn't surfaced yet.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, has VIL been? Has VIL spoken?
yes. Anyone we've missed? I don't think Sid Sarah's there at the moment. Maybe she'll pop up at some point. At this point, then, I'd like to open it up to a bit more depth. What were your reflections on Campout? What were the highlights for you? How could we do things differently if we do another one? I think there's enough questions there. So to take it in whatever direction you'd like to, and we'd love to hear more feedback. You know, those who did sessions, how did those go? What sort of response did you get? Over to you. Can you raise a digital hand, please?
Looks like Sid Sarah's just rejoined us.
Ah, Stevie, hello. Yeah, just in time to check in.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, apologies for my bobbing about. I'm actually at work and my employer just came in and needed something from me. So yeah, should be okay for now. Check-in. Oh, I'm feeling really good. The camp left me feeling validated, and yeah, I'm taking action because of that. So loved every moment of it. Yeah. So I'm enjoying myself back at work.
Thank you. Thank you again for stepping in so last minute, and quite a lot on your plate to organise and oversee. So that was very much appreciated by many. Who would like to go first? Is that a poppy hand I see up? Go for it.
Yes, it is. Oh, first it's oh there you are. Yeah. I just wanted to say how much I loved your sessions, Quinky. And I went straight on to Constellations Camp in Bradford-on-Avon and with Nafia, and all we did was talk about cuddle and the other things we did, because we just had, it was just so heart-opening and gorgeous, and we loved it. So yeah, thanks for that. I loved the yurt and all that. My session was great as well. There were like 32 people, which was really unexpected. And God, why is Zoom telling me that I've finished talking? I haven't. Yeah, I really loved it. It was such a great opportunity, and I would have loved to have carried on for the whole weekend. So I'm really grateful for that. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, lovely people who came, and I was so sort of blown away. I think I didn't really, say all the things that I wanted to say at the end, which was like that you could get a discount to my retreat at £10 off with the code CAMP, capital letters. And I've still got some tickets left at Treeley Farm, where Pete is right now, on the 3rd to the 6th of October. And there are no women's places left, but if you sign up, you will get information. But yeah, I particularly loved the Quinky stuff, and I loved just sitting and chatting around the big tables, and some of the other thingies that I went to as well were just gorgeous. So yeah, it was lovely meeting people. Yeah, I came away feeling really loved up, and I got to Constellations Camp, which was quite heavy. So it was a good start. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, interesting. I heard from a couple of people who went to Jam for Freedom from ours, one in particular who was one of our speakers, and it sounded like a very different atmosphere there. Who would like to go next? I'm looking for digital hands. I can see a real one. Sam, yeah.
Sorry, clearly not very good at digital. I can't as much as I was trying to find how to raise the digital hand.
Yeah, it's in the. I think it's in the React menu.
Oh, okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look a bit later. So I came to Campout for the first time last year. So this is my second Campout experience. Last year I came purely as a guest, and this year I was both. I helped co-facilitate space with Leora and Tim Griffiths and Yael, and I learned so much from co-facilitating those spaces. It was a really beautiful experience for me. I felt for me, I personally preferred this year to last year. I felt the vibe was really beautiful. very peaceful, very calm, which for me was the sort of single biggest words I could use to describe the difference in terms of how I experienced it. I think that was partly to do with the location as well, which is absolutely stunning. Very hard not to feel at peace in that space. But I also feel, yes, again, a lot of that is credit to you, Pete, and the people that you and your energy drew into the space. So for me, yeah, as I said, I'm still feeling immense gratitude for the whole experience. And yeah, let's keep going. Let's do it.
Thank you, Sam. Julila.
You got it, Julia. Yeah, hello everybody. I love seeing the faces of people who we've connected with so deeply in Paradise. I thought the Three Pools location was just extraordinary because it's very exciting to be somewhere where they're restoring the land permaculturally. Yeah, just the way it sat in the valley, and obviously Ian's walks up to the wood, the mother tree, the mother oak, just all those experiences which really land us in nature. All the sessions that I took were absolutely fantastic. So yes, to be amongst really, really profound masters of, people who've been really learning what they do for so many years and bringing it to share freely in that space, I just think is remarkable. And I don't want to go to any other festivals that aren't as deep as this. It's just, for me, coming together with purpose is just what we need to do, so that we can nourish ourselves and come out into, as Poppy calls it, Muggle land, and keep shining our light here. So yeah, really, really nourished, really transformative. Loved the food, loved the guys at the farm, loved the youth there. That vitality, I'm excited for the planet on account of seeing what they're doing, and yeah, just the food was just too delicious, wasn't it? And the swimming and everything. And yeah, brought my lovely husband, who I wouldn't say he really enjoyed himself, but I think it will have changed him in a little tiny bit. So yeah, thank you to everyone. And can we book it for next year now? Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah. Maybe we can talk a bit more about whether there might be one next year a bit later. You mentioning Ian reminded me that he sent in a little clip. He can't be here because he's busy doing something else, but now is a very perfect segue to go into I haven't seen this yet, so he might be saying it's awful or something, but yes. So here's Ian Banyard coming at you virtually.
Hi Pete and everybody from Campout 2024. Sorry I can't be with you on the campfire conversation this morning. We've got a village phaeton. My dog Lola's going to be in the dog show at 10:45, so I need to be with her and the family today. So, but lovely fond memories of that great, fantastic, wonderful, relaxing, rejuvenating, restful and fun weekend with you all. Some memories that stick with me. Certainly, I loved Ruth Fox's opening to that ceremony, where we had that wonderful connection with each other, honouring the life and the light within us all, and appreciating sharing the space and the time in love with each other, which was absolutely wonderful and really resonated with me. I loved my early morning walks, and thank you to everybody that came out at 6 o'clock and joined me up with that lovely old oak tree in the woods, looking down on Three Pools. Another highlight that stood out for me was the campfire ceremony. I loved that, with Jessica calling in the spirits for the weekend. Another one. Jackie Juno. I I loved watching Jackie and listening to Jackie's poetry and getting to know Jackie as well, actually. We had some lovely talks. Had some lovely talks with lots and lots of people. I can't mention them all here, but you know who you are. We had some wonderful, wonderful connections there as well. The walk, Fiona's walk that I went on, where we were dancing and connecting with nature, that one's just come to mind as well. Lots of others that are not coming at the moment, but have some wonderful reflections, and I look forward to hearing your reflections, and they will stimulate more reflections with me. So thanks again, Pete. It was a wonderful opportunity to come again for this second year. I'll be there with you in 2025 if you do it. I know you said you may not, and you deserve a rest if you choose to do that, and that's absolutely your choice. But I'm always there. If when you're running them, if you're doing stuff, I'd love to be included. So thanks to everybody. Have a great campfire conversation this morning, and I'll connect with you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks to Ian. He went on his nature walks in the morning. Yeah, I can see a few hands going up there. I also had a message from Jo Berry saying, love to you all. Sorry she can't make it. She's busy this morning. But yeah, there was much conversation about Jo's opening session for the whole of the event. And it set the tone anyway. It's for a lot of the discussions around how we perhaps shouldn't be taking sides so readily in a conversation where there are differences. And it was also an important element of the People's Assembly. Which I'd be interested to know how people, what they thought of that, those who came to the People's Assembly. Ruth, you've got your hand up. Oh, welcome to a couple of newcomers, Jackie, Laura, good to see you here on the call. Ruth.
Hi, I thought I'd follow in. I thought the best gift I could bring was a sense of love and connection. And then when we had that interviews with some of the presenters online just a week before the event, I was really sort of touched by how much the concept of being connected was coming forth in many people's intentions for what they were going to offer. And that made me feel really good, because it's such a fundamental. When I go down to the bare bones, of what we're looking at the world and we're looking at humanity, then it's like, is this separation or is it connection? That question for me seems really fundamental. And love being the greatest power of all, far greater than all the powers that are trying to manipulate and destroy. And I felt as though the whole weekend had this sense that there was a collective intent for love and connection, and it was just beautiful to be in that and to feel. And I think the gentleness, I mean, obviously the place held us beautifully, but it was how we were in there as well. There was a synergy that was generated in the whole group, including the farm people in the farm, that was very loving and very connected. And I experienced that also in a very personal way. I felt very kind of taken care of and looked after, particularly by, I mean, strangely, the theme for me was just there were a lot of beautiful men who seemed to be just helping me without me even asking all the time. It was really lovely. I was having some physical challenges, and but I felt just like there was all this strength and love and care around me that was just holding me up. The things that I loved, I feel sad that I missed some things. There was an inevitability about having to miss things because things were going on concurrently. I learned an incredible amount from working with you, Stevie, Sidsara, Quinky, whatever you are today. That was just really brilliant. I mean, as someone who's experienced in holding spaces, but never having done any of that kind of lovely connected touch and bodywork before, it was just brilliant to do that. And that was something that benefited me personally, as well as having learned a lot. I felt such love for the people that we were working with. And I was very moved by Joe. I mean, I was weeping actually quite a lot at the beginning in it. And I think what was making me cry was the love and the sense that, as I said to her yesterday, you know, people stepping across the fields of war, you know, and connecting there with their humanity. And there again, it's that I was very touched by that, and the music around the fire, some of the singing. I missed the open mic, which I was really sad about, and a few other things. I mean, that I would have been in. I loved doing the writing. It was great. We all just scrawled, you know, and then the sharing was just so rich in the writing group. It was beautiful. So yeah, there's probably other things I haven't mentioned, but and being with the fire and being with the elementals, you know, hearing the cry of the hawks, immersing in the waters, sitting around the fire was just beautiful. I live quite a lone life, and for me there was a very profound thing about just connecting with people, with more people in my life, and getting out more, and that was a great gift. And there's a part of me that's going, I want to do it again, but it's going to be ages. So anyway, I mustn't go on too long, but I just wanted to share with all of you. Thank you, all of you, for everything that you put in and for being with you all, because it was great.
Thank you, Ruth. And Claire's put in the Claire's joined us. Good to see you here, Claire. Jo Berry takes humanity to a different level. Yes, absolutely. I saw her first and booked her for the Froome 2019 convention, and she had a similar impact. Didn't speak to as many people there, but yeah, the waves that she sends through from what she says and the way she acts is not to be underestimated. So I'd like to invite a quick check-in for those who've joined us since the check-in. Claire, as you just posted a comment, would you like to say hello? Come on camera.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. Lovely to see so many people. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm still feeling the wonderful emotions that come with having spent time with people like yourselves and at Campout, and missing you all madly. I remember this time last year, I organised, tried to organise a meetup for local people local to Bristol, because I felt withdrawal symptoms so badly. But yeah, it's I'm still feeling the love, basically, and thank you all so much. It was amazing, the whole thing.
Thank you, Claire. Yeah, it's how we keep this thing going, isn't it? I remember the Bristol thing you did. I think you ended up having a good chat with Fenella anyway.
Absolutely, we had a lovely afternoon.
I've had similar messages from others. Jackie, who's just joined the call, left them. I haven't responded yet to you. I've had so many messages in, but a lot of the essence of what you were saying was, you know, what do we do next? How do we keep this going? So would you like to come in and say hello? You need to unmute.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you all. So I was really privileged to be a lady of leisure at Campout this year. Last year I was part of the core crew, and this year I was able to just swan around and just soak it all up. And it was really, it's actually been really lovely to be on both sides, to be part of the crew and to also just be there. I guess just to have my presence and to feel everybody else's presence, and the land is a very special place for sure. Yeah, there's so many different directions I could take this, but I think, put it this way, I would not be coming all the way down from Scotland if I couldn't feel the benefits, and they are very tangible. And it was actually, for once, and Pete might back me up on this, for once I'm actually kind of quite lost for words. And normally I'm a little, but I think maybe dovetailing in with what Claire was just saying, maybe post-event, there's that resettling back into our everyday world. And I think what I was trying to message with Pete was how do we make this love not just be a bubble for the week? Or weekend? How do we start to now take action as a community, as local and global brothers and sisters, to join from our hearts? And how do we start living this? And obviously we can take small steps. I think each and every one of us are no doubt doing that already and have been doing that for a long time. How do we amplify that? How do we move forward as this beautiful group, and actually live this every day of our lives? So that for me is what I'm personally leaning into. And there's probably about 20 others that I've already connected with, both in and out with Campout, who are definitely feeling that call too. So yeah, just open to, as I said to Pete, open to all possibilities and potentials. It's not about us getting numbers per se, but it is about being inclusive. And I guess it's just about feeling the integrity of being able to move forward with our hearts and trusting that what will unfold will unfold in the most beautiful and profound ways of that Campout spirit. And yeah, a massive thank you to each and every one of you. I thought the volunteers were amazing. They did a brilliant job. Everything was so well organized. And just the ethos, I think you're an absolute master at it, Pete, of just being able to get that balance between being laissez-faire, trusting that the job gets done and gets done really well when people are allowed to be empowered, and just letting the flow, allowing spaces. The open mic spaces were really very beautiful. They were safe spaces where people could find their voice and express that whatever it was that they wanted to share with the rest of us. So yeah, so many beautiful moments. And I think, as we said last year, allowing space for the magic to just happen in those moments, where I thought that picnic area where the food truck was a really special, magical place. It was just a gathering point, and it was also a space where people could walk through and cut through, and in doing so, there was just moments of crossing and touching and hugging and sharing, and they were the simplest of moments, but actually often I think they can also be the most profound. So yeah, just so much love, and just so thrilled to have been part of it again from a slightly different angle. But yeah, you're not going to get off the hook, Pete. There will be a Campout 25 in some shape or form. Whatever. Sending you all so much love. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Beautifully expressed as ever.
Thank you.
Yeah, one thing that cropped up in several conversations was back to doing some campfire conversations around the UK, possibly even further afield. We've certainly done some things on Paros, where I live most of the year. But the idea of doing some conversations perhaps around summer solstice in different parts of the country, and trying to get back to the original idea of igniting local beacons so people can take the initiative and form local groups. So I'll start a thread on the Campfire Network about this after the session, and we'll see what interest there is. I think when I did it in 17, yeah, the year after our first event in the Welsh borders, I didn't know half the people who were the hosts. I put something up on Facebook, as our own network was only in its infancy then, and had loads of responses, maybe 20, and of those, the majority actually happened. And I put total trust in the people who were offering to do them. I had a conversation with them, but we had some amazing events, ranging from the back room of a pub in Bath for 9 or 10 people through to 70 people gathering out on the lawn of an old house up on a hill in Axbridge, overlooking Glastonbury Tor and the reservoir below. An event that lasted all day and had DJs in the evening. And quite a few people showed up in different places as well. So that was interesting to see the effect. Each one was themed differently as well. So all sorts of potential for that. So we've got a couple of hands up. First of all, I'd like to invite Laura, if you're still there, to say hello.
Yes, I am. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Well, yeah, Pete, that was just, I am almost speechless, but I have very many talking parts, so I just want to, like, yesterday I watched the homeopathy, you know, with Sam. I see her here, and I have, yeah, it's just everything. It's just everything, and I'm going next week, and I'm going to Braziers and I'm going to camp, so I didn't sleep much. But I'm really getting fitter. I don't need a bigger tent. And I just like, wow, wow, wow. It's just like, yeah, I'm scattered. And how my beautiful dog was welcomed and taken care and dog sat. And I am a sort of a newly Christian, because I grew up during communism and you know, everybody was laughing. And so I'm a bell ringer, I go to the church, and today in church was really funny. I was saying, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a shaman, I'm a Jew, I'm from, so I was just really feeling the oneing, you know, the oneness. That it was Leora session and Poppy, you know, I came here, or I wouldn't come here if you were not here, or whatever we were doing. It was just so magical. And like Quinky, Sitsaran, oh my God, the liquid love, that this just went beyond anything. And I have former parts as well, many former parts that I was just exhausted and I didn't manage to. But I think what I was given was just such an abundance and plentitude and the fire. And well, thank you, thank you. And I'll shut up, because I could give praise to the Shiva and, oh yeah, the bonfire, the mantra. So Triambakam, I have been chanting. I was up at 6 o'clock chanting in the woodlands, you know, the Triambakam, Hanumata, the Gayatri mantra. I was just chanting in Hindu for about an hour, 6:30, and there was a runner, and I was just really shouting. He said, I love your chanting, and I just, whoa. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Laura. Diane's just entered the waiting room. Hands up, Ken. Hearing all this from Silver Spring, Maryland, how's it landing with you?
I wish I could have been there. I wish there was a way for me to attend virtually. I'm sure I would have loved the writer's workshop. Pete and I are talking about collaborating on a something for next time. Not sure what that would be, but we're both, as I said before, I'm a music journalist. I've known Pete for 40 years. I think he's some kind of a genius for putting this thing together. I think I would have enjoyed it. Some of you may also know that I have a little side interest of cross-dressing, and I would have absolutely brought my cheerleader outfits to Campout if I ever get there in person. It's, you know, you all are, I think, creating, I don't know exactly how to put this, an alternative way of living, an alternative way of dealing with all kinds of life situations. It's much more than just about music, which is the thing that Pete and I have in common. Let's see, what else did my deep connection to England, although I have not been there since 2011, has only gotten deeper as a result of attending the Sunday sessions, which I guess are giving me a brief taste of what an actual Campout in-person event is like.
Yeah, thank you. You did
Jackie was very eloquent. I liked her talk. Yes. Okay.
Thanks, Ken. You did put in the chat that anyone here who doesn't regularly come to the Sunday sessions, which are usually 10 o'clock, would be very welcome. We have some fantastic sessions with titles like Where Have All the Men Gone?, which sort of relates to what Poppy was saying about quite a few of them are showing up now. So that's good. Thanks, Ken. Elle.
Hi, everybody.
So lovely to see so many of your lovely faces, and yeah, reflecting on the Campout. I really felt grateful that I, invested the time and energy to come up for that weekend that we spent before the Campout, because that really helped me to have like a sort of strong sense of connection to people when I got there, having met so many of you already. And it was like I just sort of could just drop back in with like people who felt, like family already. I thought that was such a nice thing. I mean, I know maybe some of you guys have met each other before, but as a newbie to come into the events, it was, yeah, that really kind of helped me to land into the space. The music went really well. I was really happy to share a song. I felt like, quite a lot of my songs are just like, transmissions, but actually I felt like with the spirit of Campfire, I adjusted my set to include one which was like one that I was trying to, teach to people so that they could just take a really simple message away and also be part of the experience rather than me just trying to perform at someone, so that it felt more collaborative, because I feel that that's the really strong spirit of this collective is everybody, everybody doing it all together. And my herbal workshop was really well attended, so thank you to everybody who came to that. And yeah, I felt like everybody went really deep in that space. It was really special. If I had any feedback, I would, one of the things I was thinking about was like, I would have loved to have had a massage person on site in the wellbeing area. That's just my own thing. Yeah, I was thinking about how the info on workshops could have been like delivered, because there were some things that I felt like I didn't quite know like what that workshop was, and then I went to the info place and then they were like, right, this is how we do it. But I was just kind of in contemplation. I don't think I've got an answer for you, but in a contemplative space about how that information could have gone through a bit more. On a personal level, it was a little bit difficult for me, having my partner Mark there. He's got an artificial leg, and he sort of impacted on me quite a few times, like in terms of I couldn't get there because first like on the Thursday because of his work, and then because he's such a sun lover and he works a lot of the time, he wanted to be outdoors a lot, enjoying the sunshine. But the downside of that was he managed to give himself a blister on his leg, so he ended up having to leave early, so I didn't get to participate in the leaving circle, which these are all things that I wanted to kind of like do, but you also have to kind of like look after your partner who you've got there at the same time too. So there was a lot of what I would call negotiations and things, and yeah, just noticing like some of the things that I wanted to go to, like I would have gone to probably on my own, that he was like not so sure about that, because he's not as maybe as open as I am to some of the things that were on offer, particularly in the Eros tent. I would say that was more of a challenge zone for him, but I probably would have shown up there a bit more. But we're all opening and we're all flowering, we're all blossoming in our own time, and none of that can be forced. I mean, it was a huge thing for him to even be witnessed with his artificial leg in community, because that's been such a thing for him. I also have in the last week, I don't know how I've managed this because I spent 3 days in London as well, but I managed to also write a song, like a post Campout song, which is it's called Cycles. And one of the things that I could really relate to, what song, I can't remember who it was that was sharing this, sorry, but they were saying like, how can we keep this going? And what I was really kind of feeling is like, this energy of there isn't a beginning and there isn't an end. there is just like the cycle, you know, and it's ongoing, and you know, that's how I feel like I want to continue to keep showing up with this group and bringing my energy in whatever way of service that I can, for future love fests like we had. So, and thank you so much to everybody. Like I know how much effort everybody put in, and yeah, really thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you. Very valuable feedback. In terms of the info, we did it slightly differently this year. Last year, I think we produced almost 100-page PDF program, and the number of people I spoke to last year said, "Oh, didn't read it." So I thought, well, I'm going to keep it online because a lot of effort went into producing that. So we kept it all on one web page. And I'd just be interested perhaps in having a talk to you about your suggestions for how we might make the info more readily available. Obviously, we had a printed out copy of that very long web page at the info hub. But yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what the best way to get the info across is, other than on the website or in a program. So any feedback on that, welcome. And also, yeah, sharing the whole experience from, there's very much a sense that there is an opening and a closing. So a few people have inquired about day tickets, which really wouldn't work for Campout. And over the years, we've moved to it being a journey really from point A to point B. So closing off with the closing circle feels very like a sense of completion to a process. But thanks for your feedback, Elle. Tamara, how are you?
Oh, yes, a lot better than I was. Some of you know me very differently in terms of being self-reliant and having everything to my, you know, being fit and able and physically capable. And I was pretty discombobulated because my beautiful new camper van failed to start. So I was aided with just shoving a whole lot of stuff into my small car, and had to make do with that. It was a bit difficult. I so much appreciated coming home and having a really, really hot bath. Hot water is something just sort of blessing for me, as well as cold. So yes, and also being dislocated was quite a learning, actually. It was a big learning for me. I'm normally very okay with coping with unexpected. So pretty unexpected not to have a place to sleep for a while, not knowing where I was going to put my stuff, not being able to cook, not being able to connect, and not being my normal sort of serene, cheerful, supportive, helpful, active self. Some of you know me in that way. So that was a great big learning for me, and very important, I think. And also, this is also, I like how in this last experience, it seems to me that the way a village, a proper village, a community could function in that everybody does what they love to do and they do it best. And also being open to teaching and learning new skills with other people. So, you know, perhaps somebody who'd never baked could learn to bake. Somebody who'd never swum could learn to swim from somebody who has the skills. And isn't that the way a good village would function? Also, the permanent fixtures, if you like, the people taking care of the land, the clearing of the rubbish, the testing all the stuff, and holding the space, like the pillars around which the action could take place. That was so valuable and extraordinary, and people have experienced over many years now those. Because my main work is actually now to do with the healing of the divisions and the system over many, many millennia of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, mostly but not always represented by the men and the women in the group. And my experience over many years now has been that the men are coming forward, and I just I'm so appreciating that. This is yeah, this is so important for me, and I'm taking this forward in many, many different ways now. So for me, it was also an experience of being disabled, unable to do what I normally do. And I think we need to take that into account with when we create a community. There may be people who feel outside or feel left out or unable to join in, or so that also happens in the village. And it can I'm living in a village now after living in the big city for 60 years. So there's a big difference here. You know, if you fart in a village, everybody knows. So yeah, thank you very much, Pete, and thanks for everybody, and I'm going to carry this forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Tamara. Hopefully the sorting it out with the bell tent eased your weekend.
Yes, it did. Yeah, and also really appreciating those people who did actually step up and offer me things and help and looked after the structure and had the strength to do that, and looked out, do you need this? And maybe you need that. Can I do this for you? Which was really lovely. And the women who put up with my groaning and moaning and complaining and demanding and not being happy about that. Well, I see Diane has just arrived. Is that true?
Yes, she has. I was going to invite her in. Just a quick one. Thank you, Tamara. Jackie suggests in the chat, would a daily blackboard in the main hub area with each day's events listed work? Would save on flyer paper and alternatives to switching phones on. I guess
I have a point about that. The person who was supposed to know where things were didn't know where anything was. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say if it would help with a listing, but there's a lot of information on the webpage about the contributors' bios, etc., and the shape of their sessions. So we'd need a pretty big blackboard to fit all that stuff on, but we'll continue to think on. Diane, would you like to say hello? Good to see you joined us. Great to meet you in person in the 3D.
Yes, all these lovely people here I've had 3D hugs from. Yay! That was one of my bestest parts of being at Campout, which I'd wanted to come to previously. So yeah, quick check-in. I always do the weather. Today here in Bournemouth, the weather is cloudy, but we do have sunny intervals. So I've got a little bit of shadow showing here today. Yeah, Campout was just fantastic, basically. And came away really heart-filled. The weirdest bit, I'll finish on this bit just now. The weirdest bit was my Campout bracelet, you know, the paper thing round my wrist, energetically stayed with me long after I took the thing off. It's a very strange experience. Yeah. Oh, hi, Sirius. Yeah. Great. You've still got yours on. Well, and I haven't got mine on my wrist, but energetically it's there. And I even felt it slightly this morning. And this is quite a while after I've taken the darn thing off, which is really weird. But yeah, as I say, great to see so many people in 3D was wonderful. And I look forward to meeting others the same at some other point as well. And I'll stop there. Thank you. Sorry for being late. Zoom issue, had to totally uninstall and reinstall Zoom to get it to work today. Just the joys of technology. It's lovely.
Good to see you here. Zelda.
Yeah. What I really enjoyed, and one of the things I really enjoyed, was meeting you, Diane, in person. And so many people that I had met on screen here. I live in Amsterdam, so there's less chance of bumping into each other because we're not on the same island. And it was lovely. Like Graham and Janine and Ruth, I'd only seen on screen. Tamara, I'd only seen on screen, and Diane as well. And I'd seen you, Elle, on screen from the contributors video. It was just lovely to meet everybody and to be, as you said, Diane, to be able to hug everybody and meet in 3D. And the singing together. Pete, that the session that Gitika led, and we sang the songs that you had composed together. Oh, it was just wonderful. And that's even better than my choir here, and that's saying a lot. It was just fantastic. So it's great that you recorded that. And one of my highlights was meeting Joe Berry, because that connects with my history, because I come from Northern Ireland. It was just fantastic and ties in with the work I'm also doing. It would be great if Campout happened next year as well. I know how extremely hard you work, Pete. I saw it because you were here for a week, not all that long before. And yeah, from early in the morning to late in the evening, you were working really hard. So I know that you might not feel that next year might be, but I'm thinking, please, Pete, let's do it next year. And maybe I can help out more. I just loved it. But I just love mainly hanging out with people, meeting people. And that's why I ended up not going to all the things that I thought, oh yeah, I really like the sound of that. And I sort of, I'll just have a chat here in the grass. And then like 2 hours later, it's, oh, I'd missed that thing I wanted to go to. So, but I feel that that's what the significance is for me, meeting so many people and just feeling that connection, like Ruth talked about, like the way Ruth started it as well, just wonderful. I'm feeling a bit deprived now. So I like Claire's idea of a sort of, to make the landing a bit easier, but I couldn't get to Bristol because I live in Amsterdam. So yeah, maybe separate from this Sunday call, a kind of a different way of connecting afterwards would be wonderful. So I'd not be flailing about here saying I'm missing all those hugs and dancing, music, serious.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. I love your music choices, and it was fantastic to haven't danced so much in ages. So you can tell I'm enthusiastic. I'm coming back next year. I hope it happens next year. I'm willing to help out in any way I can. Maybe coming over here, Pete. Anyway, yeah. So that's all I want to say for now. Great to see you all here.
Thank you, Zelda. Yeah, let's have a think about a campfire event in Holland. Yeah. You mentioned Sirius. How was it for you, Sirius? I'll come to Clifford in a minute.
Well, it was a magnificent beginning, Pete. An absolutely magnificent beginning, and I hope it's no. I hope. Well, I'm certainly going to conclude that it won't be the end of it. So, I'd just like to personally thank everyone for co-creating the DJ sessions with me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned a lot as well. And I'm just looking forward to next year.
Thank you. Yes. And so good,
forward.
so good that I met you through Ruth here at the farm, who you was with back at university. So it's these circles within circles, isn't it? And connections.
Aye,
aye. Clifford, you got your hand up.
I've seen on the chat that Francesca's been waiting for a while. Francesca would have to go next.
Oh, thank you, Clifford.
Sorry, I missed you, Francesca.
No, I for some reason I couldn't raise the hand, but yeah, thank you for giving me space. I had a wonderful time. The point I wanted to make was reading about it beforehand and hearing that it was co-created made me more open to so I responded to sort of a call to help with, well, one of Stevie's workshops. So a little space to sort of, volunteer, which I don't think I would have done if I hadn't have understood the ethos, the co-creation, and then having that opportunity to do that made me feel more part of it. And that marks it out as a different kind of festival to the other ones that I go to. So I think it's really important to try and, to keep that going. And I wonder if, because I'd love to see it next year, and I wonder if there's more volunteering and support that can be given to make sure that happens. But yeah, just wanted to make the point that it was really clear to me that it's co-created, and I got so much from being able to feel more part of it through that way. Thank you.
Thank you for your feedback. Yes, the co-creation goes right through from the crew. And again, credit and take my various hats off to the crew for all the diligence and hard work for many of them over quite a long period of time. So without that, it wouldn't be what it is. And also the contributors. So it's not as if I go out with a shopping list and I do make approaches outside the circle, but it's really the contributions that come in on the forms which gives us the palette to play with. So what comes in gets programmed usually. There are one or two I try and approach. Charlotte Church was on my list and she looked quite interested at one point, but didn't come to anything in the end. So I do put feelers out for other inspirational speakers or performers or contributors in which way, every which way. Clifford.
Interestingly, Francesca was opening up some things I want to talk about. And so someone who was involved in some of the event management, I know there is space next year for people to step up and step into some roles around holding the whole thing together. So everyone who is feeling the fire burning feels the energy to do and to reach out and to add and to offer. I also want to speak for those who are absent. So the people here now really enjoyed what happened, really gained from what happened, and where the people on the edges often get not noticed. Just a word to remind us that there were nearly 200 people there. Some of those people would now be feeling the sadness. They don't always live like that. They'll be quiet. Just, yeah, some way which we should be mindful of those who aren't in the centre of it and really enjoying it, and always looking out for them, always making space to include those people who otherwise might need just a bit more encouragement. And I feel like a visitor. The week before Campout, I was at a festival site for a week, helping hold a fire where 50 people cooked and made meals and made tea and held an open space for a week. And there's a lot of talk of village mindedness. And a lot of people talking about how it's a skill that needs to be relearned for most people. A lot of it is about looking out for each other and knowing that everybody has a contribution to make. I really like just to encourage that and invite more of it. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Some really important points there. Thank you for raising those, Cliff. Also a reminder that if you're in the mood for filling out our feedback form, there's the URL in the chat. Be really good to hear some more detailed responses. So we've got about 15 minutes left on this session. Anyone else like to come in at this point? Yael.
Hey everyone, so I'll keep it brief. Pete, you've already received my feedback. I don't know if you feel I should share that.
Sure.
Yeah. So just a couple of things. Highlights for me include being buried in Bear's chest. That was just, oh my God. Every day, being seen and received unconditionally, and I was very tender for a lot of the Campout, and I've just been told my hand is about to be lowered by Zoom. So that's kind of strange. Okay. Also, loos with a view. The compost loos in the wellbeing field were quite exceptional. What else? Supporting Leora's workshop and having true support for my workshop. So really having the sense from Sarah, who was supporting me, really having my back. I want to speak into Deborah, who brought an iTerra wand to help me with the migraines that I was having. So that really, I felt really cared for. And, because of the migraines, I was needing more time in my own space than with people. So it was just really paying attention to that. And I had a bit of FOMO, but mostly the desire for self-care. So the last night, from my perspective in my tent, and of course a tent is like being in the same room as absolutely everyone all the time. Regardless of which field we're in, sound carries. So the last night was very, very, very loud for me and cut through my earplugs. I was up for 6 preparing for my 7 a.m. session that morning. And yeah, just, you know, I'm wondering about how quiet can people be late at night? How can there be the right balance between everyone having fun and speaking, and also acknowledging that maybe some people have a different rhythm? I know one person in the closing circle said, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And I totally get that. But if I'm running an early morning session, that was really tricky for me. So, you know, I don't know what we can do with that, but that is my feedback. I find the Campout ethos, the whole thing, very, very balanced. It's like being in a normal town or village with all sorts going on, you know. How much is it conscious? How much is it boozy? How much is it DJ? And so on. And, you know, how can we all coexist in a way that works harmoniously for everybody? And maybe it's not possible, but, you know, it's quite an amazing gathering. I experienced as that. I had close friends with me for the first time ever, so that was very, very special for me. What else? Perhaps that is really enough for now. I would like to there to be another one next year, Pete. Are you feeling the pressure yet from everybody here? So, you know, not meant as pressure, but perhaps just a thought, if you need to take some time out, maybe others can step forward in a longer way so that you aren't feeling like you're carrying the whole thing. So, or I know you're not, an incredible crew. So yeah, I would love to be offering breath work, but not at 7:30 in the morning on the last morning in future. I had 7 people in the past. I've had 20, and I just think the timing was off with the 2:30 bedtime the night before the morning. Okay, so that's it. That's from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Very valuable feedback. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I put a word of appreciation in for something, Pete?
Sure, Tamara.
Not the people here, but the people who were there, the Ruth's boys and the men in the farm itself, and all the transport and looking after the site and guidance and support and being there. They were amazing, and they may want to watch this or not, I don't know. But I just want to put in a word for those placeholders who took care of the trees, the path, the laundry, the whatever needed to be done. They were absolutely amazing. And you know, if somebody's a bit grumpy, don't always write them off, okay? They may be busy trying to do something else. Yeah. So, okay. And yeah, thanks very much. I love it.
Thank you for that. I'm sure I'll make sure to pass that message on to Kai and Tal, who are wonderful, and they're doing their own event, I think, next summer.
And Tom.
So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. And also, a word for Ella, who isn't here as well, for her event management.
Oh, absolutely.
Ken, is it something we haven't heard from you before?
Can't promise that. I do look forward to the day when I can meet all of you in person. I find these Sunday sessions to be really valuable. That's why I got up at a horrible hour to be here. I have also discovered in recent years, I now realize that a lot of my emotional, mental, and sure as hell musical support has been coming from England for decades. Pete knows what I'm a big fan of, Steel Ice Band, Oyster Band, Richard Thompson, all that. I'm a Jewish guy who grew up in Maryland and Massachusetts, and for some reason, even with English people who are not more or less part of the music community, I still have an affinity. I don't know where that comes from, but I like it. So hope to meet all of you in person someday.
Thank you. Yeah, you're confirming the message we've heard a few times before, but thank you for that. So we have another 5 minutes. What's bubbling up? Anyone like to throw something into the ring?
Hi, Sirius. Good to see you.
Yes, good morning, Ken. How you doing out there in Maryland?
The weather's gotten better. It's not quite as hot as it used to be.
Oh, okay.
Julie La.
So yeah, I just someone mentioned the bubble of love, and I just wanted to say how annoying it is to wake up in the morning singing your songs. They literally, each song a different night. I don't even know the songs, but they're in my ears. But I was just, when we were doing the bubble, and when Ruth created the little bubbles on our head, we created it into one huge bubble. And I know I personally vision that bubble surrounding the whole entire world and the universe. So carry it on is the word of the song, isn't it? So we carry on living in love and service in our communities, and that's how you do it. So, and just the last thing I would say, I loved having a physical program. Thank you for that, because I actually got to workshops on account of it being very simple, no details. You can find those online, but if the principle is in a small booklet, brilliant. I love you all, and I leave you there with the bubble.
With the bubble, yeah. The bubble first came to prominence at a Big Chill, but it never really took hold as a big concept at the Big Chill. And I get the feeling it is now with Campfire here. And I'm hugely looking forward to being in the studio with Gitika tomorrow and Tuesday and working on more songs, or possibly taking the ones we've written already further. It's been a really thrilling thing for me to do this year. 20 years since I last wrote a song, and I'm feeling very, very inspired by the music. That's one of the reasons I'm thinking about the sabbatical. But thank you for the feedback.
Yeah,
Ruth.
well, you can't have a sabbatical, but we will step up to, you just need to delegate more. And yeah, those songs are catchy, so keep writing them.
You're not the first to talk about Earworm, actually. Yeah, so keep writing songs that lodge themselves in the ears, in the consciousness. Ruth.
I too just wanted to say a few words about the question of how we go out into the world with this sense of love and connection, and to just remember that we can always just drop into the heart space, and that everyone we meet on this planet is on some mysterious journey of the soul, no matter how weird and alien or unpleasant or frightening they may seem. And to remember that this is all we're all part of a whole, and that's the connection, the fundamental connection. And that when we're seeing the unpleasant stuff, that it's ours as well, and we're responsible for all of it. And I think what Joe, just to listen, to be willing to listen to people who feel like they wouldn't have anything you'd ever want to hear to say, And I think Paul Rosenborg, I can't remember his second name, who managed the hotel in Kigali, where 1,400 people didn't get hurt while he was there. He said, I look for the soft part in the most vicious killers that I meet. I always look for the humanity, even a tiny kind of inkling of it, like the guy who wanted me to shoot people for him, who couldn't quite look me in the eye. So I knew there was something in him. There's a humanity and there's a love, there's a heart connection that lies beneath all the terrible bullshit that people are acting out. And to remind ourselves always that we can stand for that and hold a space for it and look for it, even if we can't see and hear it in that moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Very wise words. Poppy.
Just that I saw a way back that Sitara wanted to say something in the chat. She said that.
Sitara, yeah. Sorry,
Thank you, Poppy. Thank you for noticing. It's interesting how you're in the fact that I've been waving and waving things up, and it's like my rejection is like, oh, they don't love me after all. It's all just talk. However, I'm back now. Thanks, Poppy, for noticing. Just interesting to notice that in myself. It's like, oh, I am invisible, and yet that had been my story for the 2 or 3 years before I came to camp, and camp just turned that around for me. And a lot of people have spoken about sort of taking things forward, and yeah, there are ways. Conscious connection events I used to run, we have a conscious connection community, and people invite each other, just 5 or 6 people maybe, or 2 or 3 meet up, and it's still keeping the, you know, the ethos of the group alive. But I'm very much as well appreciating how people are saying they'll stand up and you know, and step into supporting this to make it happen, because that's actually one of the things in my world. If you want something to happen, step up and step out and into. So I'm delighted at hearing that. Yeah, I didn't get to see much of anything else of the camp. So something I would like to change next year is that I do. I don't know what I need for that, but I think I'll be more relaxed time-wise next time. And the other thing I want to say, when I left the camp, I had no idea, first of all, where I was, because Google wasn't playing. But I met a beautiful being whose vehicle I'd seen at the camp. I hadn't seen them. A man whose name was Bruce in a VW, like I used to have. And I don't know if he's here or not. But I just wanted to somehow get a gratitude and thanks to him, because if he hadn't given me some simple directions, I could have still been driving around Wales now, or anywhere really. You know, God knows where I'd have ended up. But he directed me clearly and simply, which is what I need in my brain. Yeah, to a place that I knew. So his name's Bruce, VW camper van. That's all I know. But it was a delight at the end of the camp to have that. Yeah, and the thing I wanted to say about the camp was, for me, a new experience to be supported in the offerings. And even before, like just asking Ella one night, can you make sure, someone can light the candles so people can see when they're coming out? And she was onto it. And the same the next night. And it's like, wow, to have support and collaboration is a new thing for me. And I think I'm going to go forward wanting that from now on. And yeah. And I guess as well, from what I've been hearing about everybody, that you, Pete, have so much support from people who have skills, experience and willingness to step in and make your roles easier. And also, I get it's for the camp to continue, so it's not all altruistic, but it is on the wider picture. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry to miss your virtual hand being up. And yes, it was Bruce Spickton, who's probably my best mate, actually. The one I'll pass on to him your gratitude for his simple and clear geographical directions. In terms of local initiatives, we have been working on a prototype for a little website, so we can light local beacons, which has come out of the initiative we did some beacon lighting last winter, and I've just put it in the chat, but it's still being worked on. So it's it's very half baked at the moment, but ideally you would stick a pin in a map and say, yes, I want to set up a Bristol beacon, or I want to set up a Swansea beacon, whatever. So that's a possibility that may come through in time over the next few months. We've got some people who weren't at Campout working on that, which would help. I've always had an idea for seeing a map, really, for who's around me, which isn't offered on the Mighty Network at the moment, although I've proposed it to them. And Sirius is also, we're talking about possibly stepping up Campfire Radio as well. So I'm meeting with Sirius next week, a man who likes to be on the radio, who likes to play records. All sorts of possibilities for putting programs together for Campfire Radio, which you can find online. Sirius, you got your hand up. We're sort of over time. Just going to...
Well, very quickly, I've got candles and matchsticks down on the list for next year.
Fantastic.
That's it.
On that note, I'm going to thank everyone for coming and being part of a very interesting and fruitful conversation. And great to see you all here. And let's do this again. I'm not sure I can do it next Sunday because I'm at the Oxford Storytelling Festival, but we'll be back in season probably in September for regular Sunday Zooms. So you'd all be very welcome to join us. Thanks for being part of this, and have a great Sunday.
Pete, I'll probably send you messages via Facebook or Campfire.
Preferably Campfire, please. I'm trying not to be on Facebook too much.
Okay. Do it.
Thank you, everyone. Lots of love.
Thanks,
Great
everyone.
to see you all again. Hope to meet you in person someday.
Yeah, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Happiness
Bye.
always.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.